2026 new research features in AnswerThis. Throughout today's tutorial, we're going to explore Agentic AI features that have been incorporated into this database, as well as some other functionalities that will improve your research process. So let's get into it. So what is AnswerThis? According to AnswerThis 2026, AnswerThis is an all-in-one AI research assistant that supports your entire workflow, from finding research gaps and collecting papers to summarizing, analyzing, and drafting citation-backed content for your research papers, dissertations, or thesis. The first place we're going to go to is AnswerThis.io. From here, we're going to sign in. And once you sign in, you can see the biggest difference from the 2025 version to the 2026 version is the interface. All the functionality are now located on the left-hand side rather than across the screen, and the search box is a lot more bigger compared to last year's model. The first place we're going to start is the literature review section, which had the biggest upgrade. So I'm going to click on the literature review, and from here, I'm going to put in my prompt the following. What impact does social media have on teenagers' mental health? It is important to note that AnswerThis has incorporated the deep research function into the literature review section. So you may be wondering what happened to the deep research function. It is now incorporated into the literature review section, so there's no need to search around throughout the database to look for that feature. The biggest difference that I've seen from 2025 to 2026 is the speed. The speed is remarkable in terms of the output. I think that was one of the things that was a pain point in 2025. But as soon as I put my prompt, the information came out, as well as the articles, as you can see on the right-hand side. So we have a wide variety of different publications here, and we have the overview based on our topic, along with the citation. So we can click, and it will provide us the exact citation here. AnswerThis has added a game-changing feature that allows us to create PowerPoint presentations within the literature search functionality. So for an example, the following prompt states, create a presentation that is comprehensive on all the information that you provided inside the literature review. The font of the presentation needs to be Times New Roman. The title of the presentation needs to be in the size of 20 font, with the rest of the information needs to be in the size 14 font. In addition, create 4 statistical visualizations. The font needs to be centered in every box without overlap. The PowerPoint presentation needs to be red and white. The output will need to be in a PowerPoint format. And as we can see here, it is executing our command based on the Python code. We still have 30% left. So now that we have our output, it actually gives us the presentation summary as well as the data that we can download. So I'm going to scroll down here to see if it in fact provides me the PowerPoint presentation, and it does. So I'm going to click on the download icon, and as we can see here, it does in fact do a pretty good job in terms of creating a PowerPoint presentation. This is a game changer because it allows us to gather all this insightful information and save time and effort when we want to not only outline our topic in our research process, but now we could create a presentation based on the information that we retrieve off of AnswerThis. Additional features that I would like to highlight is the integration of the notebook in the AI writer that allows us to expand on certain sections as well as to add much more substance. So I'm going to save this into our notebook. Once I've saved it into my notebook, I'm going to open it in the AI writer. Now, the AI writer allows us to add certain sections, it allows us to brainstorm topics, and even let us write our draft inside this particular platform. That's one of the benefits, where it allows us to interact with what we've researched. We can pull information in, and we can add and develop things even if we're brainstorming a particular topic. For an example, let's say I wanted to add more substance into this particular section. All I would need to do is highlight the particular section, click on Custom Prompts, and paste the following. Add additional details to this section and include citations of this topic, and press Enter. From here, I'm going to click on Accept, and as you can see, it has added additional details to it, as well as created additional citations here. So this is certainly a game changer where we can add certain sections, we can emphasize certain areas that's needed when we are brainstorming or creating a framework for a research topic. Other great things that we can do is ask and follow-up prompts in terms of taking a deep dive into the literature. So I'm going to do a follow-up prompt and I'm going to paste it into the search that says, what does the literature say about kids ranging from 14 to 18 years old regarding social media usage, and press enter. And as we can see right here, it provides us an in-depth analysis of the literature that it pulled from here. So now we can do follow-up prompts, we can highlight certain sections, emphasize certain things, get analysis just instantly based on the AI writer and its key functionalities in here. So once again, we see the key risk factors and it provides us a citation as well. So once again, these are unique features that I find very, very beneficial when I'm doing my research as well, interacting with the AI writer, and most importantly, just seeing these integrations work seamlessly together has been beneficial for not only me, but for many people conducting research. One of the great features that I've always loved about AnswerThis is their organization section here, where we have the tables that have the articles, abstracts, key findings. So if I wanted to just stretch this out a little bit, I can certainly do so and add additional things that can keep my research much more organized, and I can have an understanding of what the publications are. So for an example, if I wanted to identify any research gaps in this literature search, I can click on research gaps as well as additional columns. So if I wanted to explore the methodology section, I can certainly do so, or limitations as well. I can just click on the limitations icon and it will create this column for me based on the research articles here. What this does is this allows me to be much more organized and intentional when I'm doing my research. Rather than browsing through hundreds of articles, I can now have this to organize my content and pick the exact papers that's needed for my research. And just like traditional databases, it will allow us to pull the article if needed. So if I wanted to get this particular article, I can click here and it will redirect me to the PDF. And now I have the publication for this particular article that is needed for my research. The other great features that I like about AnswerThis is they have the traditional functionalities such as the sorting, which lets me sort by publication date. We can export this as a CSV file, as well as export them to some of our other citation software managers such as Zendero or Mendeley. One of the biggest highlights that I feel that goes under the radar is the ability to interact with all of the articles in AnswerThis. So if I wanted to interact with it and ask a follow-up prompt, I can click on all in the features and ask a follow-up questions like the following. What does the literature say about kids ranging from 14 years old to 18 years old in social media usage? And as you can see, based on our follow-up prompt, it provides a literature review outline based on our follow-up. Some of the other fantastic features that I like is if we go to Add Steps and we click on the Bibliometric Analysis section, it will populate a wide variety of different metrics such as the publication by year, word cloud, citation impact, top keyword terms. If you are a bibliometrics researcher like me, this is a game changer because all we need to do is click on the list of different citations and it comes up with this, and we can download this if we want and use it for presentations. One of my favorite features in AnswerThis is the data analysis section. This allows me to extract information from my own research papers and create statistical analysis whenever I want. The first place I'm going to go to is the data analysis tab located on the left-hand side. From here, I'm going to upload my own publication. It is important to note that I've uploaded my own publication. This is an open access article and it's free to use, so I've uploaded my own content. From here, what I'm going to do is paste in the following prompt. Provide me with a statistical analysis of this publication, and I'm going to click on this arrow here. And as you can see here, we have the outcome that we wanted in terms of extracting the information and creating some type of statistical analysis. Obviously, we would have to reprompt it to get exactly what we need, but this is certainly beneficial for not only people such as myself within the social science, or people who don't have a background in statistics can now create these visualizations by extracting the information that's needed based on the research paper or perhaps some notes, and they could create these beautiful visualizations for their researching needs. Here are my thoughts and observations for the new features in AnswerThis. The output of information has gotten remarkably fast compared to 2025. I felt that was a big pain point in 2025, but now in 2026, it seems like they've addressed that issue and the database is faster than ever. The integration of deep research and an AI agent in the literature review section is a game changer. It allows you to interact with the database better than ever before. The data extraction visualization component is critical beyond measure for research, especially for people within the social sciences backgrounds. It allows us to create visualizations and it allows us to create complex statistical analysis as well. Creating the PowerPoint presentation has never been easier inside the literature review section. By far, this is one of the best features that I've seen in any academic database. And last but not least, the AI writer inspires us to be creative in our research process. Whether it's pulling from our literature review, adding additional information to those sections, creating a framework for our research process, and so much more. And if you're interested in learning about AI tools, please feel free to click on the link below, as well as the referral link that's in the YouTube description. And that concludes our tutorial. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to contact me at jonathan.torres@rutgers.edu. Feel free to network with me on any of the networking sites below. With that being said, take care.